What's going on, y'all? Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you'd like to donate to the channel, the cash app's at the top right corner of the video. But let's get into it, man. So, in the midst of everything that's been happening with Diddy and the situations that he faces in court, including the 120 people in a new lawsuit, his mother has came out and made a statement that her son is not the monster they have painted him to be. Now, Diddy's mom had made this statement, followed by several other words that have been said in her statement. She's coming out and defending her son after Diddy Combs faces life in prison after freak-off parties were at play, pointing that these freak-offs were so severe and so disturbing that in these freak-offs, the victims were given IV fluids to recover from the physical exertion and drug use. Yeah, that's right. These freak offs were so severe that they had physical dehydration to the point where Diddy had to bring in IV fluids or an IV drip for the victims to recover and replenish. And as we could read right here, the indictment against P. Diddy stated that the victims needed rehydration via IV drip after the freak offs. Here is a video of P. Diddy and his mom just chilling on an IV drip together. And that ain't no doctor's office, he says. My mom is single and her palms can touch the floor, which is a crazy thing to say about your mom, bro. I don't know why you're saying that about your mom. That is crazy, bro. I don't care how close you are. And she says flat. He also talks about her going to strip clubs with him. Is this normal motherly behavior? Now, this had been surfacing before she came out and made her statement, but I just want to let it be known that she's also been a woman in this case that's been taking IV drips with P. Diddy, with her son. And just to bring it up here, this is the indictment saying that they do use the IV drips after these freak offs and overly physical exertion. And this was her statement. So Janice Small Combs, the mother of Sean Combs, through her undersigned counsel and on behalf of the Combs family, releases the following statement. Okay, so she says here, I come to you today as a mother that is devastated and profoundly saddened by the allegations made against my son, Sean Combs. It is heartbreaking to see my son judged not for the truth, but for a narrative created out of lies. To bear witness what seems to be like a public of my son before he has had the opportunity to prove his innocence is a pain to be unbearable. To put into words, like every human being, my son deserves to have his day in court, to finally share his side and to prove his innocence. So obviously his mom isn't feeling what people are saying about her son. And obviously she's going to take her son's side of the situation, being his mom in this case. I am not here to portray my son as perfect because he is not. He has made mistakes in his past as well as we all have. My son may not have been entirely truthful about certain things, such as denying he has ever gotten violent with his ex-girlfriend when the hotel surveillance showed otherwise. Sometimes the truth and lie become so closely intertwined that it becomes terrifying to admit one part of the story, especially when that truth is outside the norm or is too complicated to be believed. This is why I believe my son's civil legal team opted to settle the ex-girlfriend's lawsuit instead of contesting it until the end, resulting in a ricochet effect as the federal government used this decision against my son by interpreting it as an admission of guilt. Which, I'm gonna be real, y'all. If someone accused me of the things that Cassie was accusing me of, and I had nothing to do with that, I'm fighting that to the end, bro. I am not settling out of court for that. Because once you settle for court, bro, that makes it look like you did it. You have the money to fight it in court. I'm sure you have more money than Cassie to go against her in the court of law to clear his name. Yeah. If you didn't do it, I'll take it to court. I didn't do it. Well, I got to worry about. but in this case, he did do it. So he had a lot to worry about. It is important to recognize that none of us, regardless of our status, are immune to fear or mistakes. Not being entirely straightforward about one issue does not mean my son is guilty or of repulsive allegations and the grave charges leveled against him. Many individuals who were wrongfully convicted and later exonerated had their freedom taken from them, not because they were guilty of the crime they were accused of, but because they didn't fit the image of what this society considers to be a good person. History has showed us how individuals can be wrongfully convicted due to their past actions or mistakes. There is people who get falsely accused of a crime. It happens a lot in America. However, unfortunately for her, her son, I believe, is actually guilty of the crimes he's being accused of, in my opinion. She also follows up by saying, watching the world make jokes and laugh at my son's life crumbling before our eyes is something I can never forget. It is truly amazing to watch the world turn against my son so quickly and easily over lies and misconceptions without ever hearing his side or affording him the opportunity to present his side. These lies thrown at him are motivated by those seeking a financial gain and not justice. These individuals saw how quickly my son's civil legal team settled his ex-girlfriend's lawsuit, so they believe they can receive a quick payday by falsely accusing my son. False allegations of SA thwart true victims of actual violence from getting the justice they deserve. To make matters worse, the federal government is now using these lies to prosecute my son. This injustice has been unbearable for our family. The worst part of this ordeal is watching my beloved son be stripped of his dignity, not for what he did, but for what people choose to believe about him. I ask his supporters, fans, colleagues, friends, and public to not judge him before you've had the chance to hear his side. I beg you to think about those who have been wrongfully persecuted, to remember that not everyone who has made mistakes in life deserves to have their entire existence judged by a single action or a few mistakes. My son is not a monster they have painted him to be, and he deserves a chance to tell his side. I can only pray I am alive to see him speak his truth and be vindicated. Respectfully submitted on behalf of Janice Smalls Combs and the Combs family. Your son was not accused of a single action or just a few mistakes. He's accused of a lot of things. And for those of you, if you could bear it, and I'll be real, you look up the P. Diddy lawsuit with Lil Rod. It's definitely like, read what she just said and then read the Lil Rod case. Yeah, bro. It is not a few mistakes, bro. And that's the thing, bro. It's just so much stuff. The law enforcement that arrested him, they didn't just arrest him over a hunch or over accusations. I'm sure they found enough evidence to swarm in and take P. Diddy. I don't think they would have took him down or even arrested him if they didn't have enough proof to do so. So it's not just a few mistakes, but obviously she's going to stand by her son. I mean, that is her son at the end of the day. But I have to disagree with his mom entirely, bro. This is just so much things that he's being accused of. You know, this is just one of the many pages in the lawsuit mentioning IV fluids and physical exertion. How do you provide so much exhaustion from doing one activity to the point where you have to bring in IV fluids, bro? They're calling them freak offs in the indictment, bro. I've never seen, an indictment coin something as a freak off. It's crazy, bro. But final thoughts on this. I don't really agree with her mom. I do know, in my opinion, that what Diddy's being accused of, in my opinion, I feel like he did that, you know. And it's not just one mistake. And I can't believe she said that, because then you have the Cassie thing, you have this thing, and then you have 120 people in one lawsuit. That's more than just a few mistakes, bruh. It's more than just a few mistakes. And we have this. I don't even know why he would say, my mom is single and her palms can touch the floor. I don't know why he would say that. I don't know who would say that about their mom. So I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I do know, but I'd rather not say it. But this is crazy to say about your mom, bro. Could only think, could only imagine, right? What he meant by that. And then talking about going to strip clubs with her. It's just strange, bro. I'll never go to the strip club with my mom. I don't know, man. And it goes back to this person's question. Is this normal motherly behavior? Y'all tell me, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Keep it alleged. All on this side, bro. But yeah, appreciate y'all, man. Peace.